how did I come to the place of feeling like I could be more confident? I think it started with like early in my journey in the 4-day process. The first part of it was healing a lot of wounds around my mother and our relationship, because I had felt very rejected by her. Sort of through this whole process of building trust with everybody here, like I was able to let go and like cry like a baby at one point, like actually experience being an infant and crying, but actually getting that love and not having to like worry about, is this too much for my caregivers? Is this like going to overwhelm the people who are supposed to be caring for me? And that was an experience I didn't have in childhood. And so like a lot of, it kind of all ties together, but I was able to release a lot of this darkness that was like thinking like I'm too much, or like I'm deserving, or maybe I deserve a little, but I need to think of other people. Not that I don't need to think of other people. Obviously I need to think about other people, but like also that I deserve that same care that I give to other people. That also has let me, like a lot of my experiences over the past few days were like kind of getting messages and stuff like from my higher self, from my grandmother, from other guides, and interpreting those for myself, and like coming to a place where I don't feel like I need to ask other people to like interpret what happened for myself. Like I am going to talk to other people about it because I want opinions and feedback, but it's like my journey, and we're all on this path, like walking parallel with each other. And I like the saying, like, we're all just walking each other home. So kind of like that. So rather than like seeking other people to like give me the input or give me like approval, just know that I am like good enough, like, and instead just seeking to like be close to people and be real with people. And I think this is going to help me a lot going forward with like some of the goals and things that I'm like wanting to do in life that have seemed really big and scary, to just have a lot more trust.
How did you know, like what was the point where you knew that this was something that was important for you to do, to come in here and do this?
I've wanted to do this for a few years. I've been curious about this for many years, but I've been seriously curious about it for a couple of years because I started having dreams about doing Aya, like repeated ones. And so I decided that was something that I wanted to seek out. But like, given that I've had a lot of trauma and also like traumatic experiences receiving therapy, I want to be very careful like what kind of container I did this in and what kind of people I was around, because I don't want to get my heart broken again when I'm trying to seek help. And so like finding Ankar's book, on your book, and like reading it, and that just everything in it really resonated and felt really safe. And so I don't know, I just felt like called to do this. Like I didn't know anyone coming to the ceremony ahead of time. Like I just found you online and then like reached out. So this was a pretty huge thing to do. But I just felt like I had to do this. Yeah. I would say like really a little bit over a 2-year process to get to this point where I was working in a job that I loved on the one hand, but was also breaking my heart on a daily basis. And like working with vulnerable people who I was really constrained to help in that environment. And so it was like a big leap of faith to quit that job and also stop taking psych meds that I had been told to stay on for life and had been taking for many, many years. And kind of going down a path of like trying different things, trying different kinds of meditation, trying different medicines, everything, trying to kind of wake myself up and come back to myself. And this is kind of like, I don't think it's like, I feel like it's the culmination because I'm here right now, but obviously there's like a lot more work to do and everything coming. But all of that kind of led me to the point where I was like ready to, like, I don't want to just hide from the stuff that's been making me sick. I wanted to look right at it and remove it. And so I've been suppressing it for so many years, suppressive medications and suppressive relationships and, hiding behind addictions and everything else. And so, yeah, I just don't want to do that anymore. I wanted to actually pull the poison out. I think feeling like safety in a community and feeling accepted and letting myself be accepted and letting myself be open and trusting has been like majorly impactful. And like the experience of like going back to childhood and crying like a baby and asking for help and receiving it was really huge. And like my first instinct when I kind of got overwhelmed and needed help was like, just ride it out. Like, oh, they'll notice you when they notice you. And I was like, no, because they're not reading minds, they're sitting here. Just say the words and then you'll get help. And so being able to do that, and then it, like that's exactly what happened, was really huge because that's not something I've done before.
Yeah. What has it been like for you being a part of this group? Like how have your interactions felt for you?
How's it been to be part of this group and the interactions? It's been totally magical. Like as soon as I got here, I just immediately felt safe and connected to people, and like most other people know each other already, but I didn't feel like an outsider that had to prove myself in any way. Like there was nothing to prove. It was just like sit down and everyone was just like talking from the heart, and everyone's here for the same reason, like our own variations of the reasons, but we're all like here to do this like scary, brave thing to make ourselves better and to make our communities better. And I just kept saying and feeling the whole time, like, I'm so grateful. I can't believe that I found this group of people. And like, you know, like part of me is like, oh, how come it took me until this point in my life to like find people, da da da. But it's like, well, no, things happen and unfold the way they're supposed to happen and unfold. And like, I wasn't open enough earlier, so I wouldn't have been able to receive. So that's why. And like trying to just trust that there's wisdom to how like time unfolded and things played out. And like that's another big realization too, like from last night, was realizing how like all of these little things from different points in my life, from like early childhood, adolescence, like everything, current days, have like connected in ways that I couldn't see at the time, and the pieces didn't fit, and like now they're kind of fitting and they make sense that they had to happen in that way. And it actually goes back like generations and includes me, that all of that, it was a part of it. Like, and even like understanding that the like rejection from my mother is probably like her unable to accept some part of herself, and I came from her, and so she couldn't accept that part of herself, and so therefore she rejects me because that's rejecting herself. And so having compassion for it in that sense. But I still don't need to like play the old role of trying to placate anymore. I can have compassion and still not be a doormat.
Put that on a bumper sticker.
The land here is so beautiful. There's just animals all around. You can hear like the wind breathing, monkeys screaming. There's hummingbirds flying by, like tarantulas. Like normally I'm afraid of spiders. Here I'm like getting up and close with a tarantula, and I'm like, oh, he's adorable. Like it's really magical being here, and then also being so far away from the distractions that are home. So I can really just sort of settle in and be with the medicines and be with the meditation and be with the people here, and like not checking Facebook, not like having to respond to emails, not having to do like all of these things that keep me busy and distracted. And so my mind, my thoughts, my energy, everything is like so much more calm and grounded. And so it's like I can actually get to a deeper place. And I think also being able to do like multiple ceremonies in a row close together, each one went a little deeper. And I don't know that that would be possible to do if I was like going home, like in and out of my life, like in downtown. So yeah, it's just, this opportunity has been just everything. I think this kind of experience is for people who are quite intrepid, people who are ready to face whatever there is to face because they know that it's going to make them better. So people who are ready to be in that place of struggle for the longer term gain. People who want to know how the mysteries work, who want to know like how they work, people who want more spiritual connection, any of those kinds of things. I wish this was for everyone. Like I would love to bring my sister, or many other people, but it's not for everyone. Like it's for people who are called. Like if it's for you, you'll know. That's who it's for. I think one thing is that no matter how scary and intense and overwhelming it might be at any given moment, the medicine is benevolent and here for your greater good and for your improvement. And like when it gets really hard, remember why you put yourself here and just stay with it. Like the more you turn away, the more there's more struggle. If you can stay with it and relax into it and ask for help when you need it, and then let the people here remind you to stay with it and relax into it, and trust that you're held and safe, and don't try to control it. Don't try to do anything. Just try to let go. Like just let go. Just breathe, and be sort of like as passive in a way as you can, and then that will let the struggle come, and then you'll know when there's things for you to act. But when it gets really intense, just don't fight it. Just don't resist, and there'll be movement. You're not going to stay in that place, and you'll break through to get something out of it. But what I found on my journeys where I have had more struggle, it's been when I've tried to like rip on and like control it and change it, and like I don't want it to be like this. I don't want this and that. But yeah, like the surrender piece. And then as you fall through that difficulty into something more beautiful, it's like each time I can know that it's safe to surrender, because that big fear that I'm looking at, that's the thing that's blocking me, and surrendering to it in this circumstance is a chance to like remove it and then remove it and then remove it and get to somewhere else more beautiful. Yeah, I think it's overall been very excellent.
Anything else that you'd like to share?
Not sure. I think just if you feel called to do this, then you should do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.